This is part 39 Cry for Help. As we left, the
And
noise
it's May 21st, 2012.
the noise gets louder and louder. It's intended for two reasons. Because the cyber crimes are going to continue, and they're trying for us not to expose it. Plus, when the noise comes, it makes us forget what we want to say, because we have to talk over the noise.
Well, it's a distraction.
So it's all psychological warfare.
Right.
Okay? That's what this whole thing is about. Alright? And we don't want to be in this any longer. Okay? We need to get out of it before we lose our lives. Okay? And I keep on saying the same thing. So I'm going to continue with the wire.
Right.
Okay? So the last part that we got up to, Joe, was what?
It was with Terri Frisone came to the house.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And she came with...
Yeah. Now, Terri Frisone, okay, never worked at Richmond Management, because she claimed to us, I work in your building. I'm the property manager here. Okay? And we never saw her for 12 years, and we had plenty of complaints, very serious complaints. Okay? And she was never there. So I told her that. I said, then where were you for all the other complaints we had that were very serious? Oh, I wasn't, I didn't know of any other complaints. I said, you didn't know of any other complaints? I said, something's wrong here, I said, because we have other serious complaints also that we don't want to get into now. We will tell you later. Okay? So she said, well, I'm here now. That's all I know. So she brought with her the intercom repairman,
right,
who does the intercom. Because, let us explain this to you. This is very important. And Joe, if I'm wrong, please help me out.
Yes, I will.
Okay? Because this is so surreal. Our intercom wire is the same wire as our internet wire. Correct, Joe?
Yes, it's the internet goes into the same phone wires.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And
one wire leads. It splits. That wire splits. So one wire goes to the intercom system. There's a box for the intercom system, and the other wire from the phone wire goes for the internet.
Okay. And because we are so concerned about hanky-panky in our building, we thought the best way, and this is how we did it, we got a dry loop from the pole to connect to our internet. Joe, you want to explain this?
This type of internet service is not. That's why I have to explain it. It's not like a huge company like we have Fios here in the United States, or Optimum, which is Cablevision. These are the two big competitors. Most buildings, most co-ops, they have a contract with these, just like the satellite people, the DirecTV and Satellite Dish. These are the big four,
Yes, because most people live an American way of life like we did before. They had the phone, the TV, and the internet. Unfortunately, we can't have those services anymore because we're becoming destitute, and we don't even have time to watch TV. I wish we did.
Okay.
All we do is sit by a webcam and write documents.
Anyway, with this
let
me explain.
So we just got the basic internet.
Right, yeah, we have to find the most reasonable internet that was available. Okay, so we got this internet company. The internet company, what they do, they basically do their work, right at the pole. And what they do is called a dry loop, because we don't have any phone service. Like we told you, we canceled that chaotic phone service that we have with those two imposters. So, but what we have a live phone jack, because we need a live phone jack because of the intercom. So we can hear when somebody calls. So my phone jack holds, it's a light, but it's not a regular phone. So that's why they call this a dry loop. What they do, they come at the pole, they bring the switch, and they activate the switch. By activating the switch, it brings in the internet service. Subsequently, these wires, which are on the pole, they go into the building. It's a phone wire. It goes into the building and goes directly into the phone box in the garage. Now, in the phone box in the garage, I have my phone wire and I have my intercom wire. They're both two phone wires. Okay, one is just for the intercom, and one wire leads to another box, which is actually the intercom itself. But it's a one, and another wire directly attached to it. Basically, what they do, they split, and it's used for the internet, and it's wired to a particular terminal, which leads to my apartment. Anyway, what this intercom guy did, he wanted to check my to see if my wall jack was alive, okay, which I told him it is alive, but he had to check in order to see how, because he needed to get the signal when he goes downstairs in the garage to see where it leads to my apartment. So what he did, he put a couple of wires there on my wall jack. He set something up. So we went downstairs, okay, we went downstairs, and what he did, he verified that at a certain location in the box, that's where my phone wire was and my intercom wire. And what he saw, okay, he saw my one wire for the intercom going to the intercom box, which was correct.
Say the wire number.
And the same wire where it's split from my phone, my actual phone wire where it's split, at that point was supposed to go to another terminal. Instead, what he saw that this terminal where my phone wire was for my internet was going to a different apartment. And he said, wait a minute, this does not belong here. And I say, it has to be, he says, it belongs someplace else. So he says, you have to figure out where to go. But
he said it's routed to someone else's apartment, and it was wire terminal what, Joe? What was the number?
It was wired to wire terminal 157.
This is very important,
okay,
because everyone's going to deny, and we have it on tape recording, not only from Terri Frisone, we have it from Tom Flood, and we have it from the electrician and an intercom person, that it's our wire is connected to wire 157.
No, to terminal
wire.
Terminal to wire terminal.
Wire terminal 157. However, as the story goes on, after they all stated it, they all decided to say it's not 157, it's 153 or 154, or they say, I don't know what it is, okay? They all, because terminal wire 157,
it's connected
to Mario Tusco's apartment, 98% sure, or it goes to a vacant apartment which Mario Tusco uses. We also have cult members. One of them is, you mentioned it, Joe.
Yeah.
Who's that cult member?
Yoga Abba.
Yoga Abba. And we have other cult members, okay? The, what's his name? Mike with his wife.
Okay.
What is his name?
I don't know his last name right now.
No. What's his wife's name? Because he wanted to do us dirty.
Yeah, Cindy.
Cindy. Okay? Mike, okay, and we'll tell about Mike another time in our building, wanted to be our so-called best friend in order to commit illicit activities in our apartments. Okay?
But we have to get back to that.
Yes. Okay.
At a different time.
So, yes. Yeah. Okay, but all these people are working behind the scenes in our building, even without cyber crimes, and there's much more.
So anyway, what they decided to do that day, they said, well, we don't know what to do. I don't know what this, it's. I said, well, put that wire back where it belongs. That's what you have to do. So, well, said, well, let me take out this wire from terminal 157, see what happens. So they take out the wire from terminal 157. They just take it out and just leave it loose. That's all they did. They didn't do anything else to it. So they said, well, okay, let me see how things go. And guess what? They leave. We go back. I try out my intercom. Guess what? Miraculously, my intercom is working. But guess what now? I have no internet. My internet is like, so I call up my gone. So I call up my internet company service, and they thoroughly understand everything. I explained the whole situation about the wire situation, and he said, you know what, something? He said, we basically, our work is done at the pole where we put that switch. And your service gets connected. And what we do, we send the same Verizon guy. Actually, they use Verizon people. These are Verizon contracted company here. They hire
because
out.
Verizon is the biggest company
Right,
where we live.
But anyway, this is the contractor. What it does, he still comes to your box, but just to see if you get a signal. He doesn't touch anything. He makes sure that everything is done correctly, that you're picking up your signal, and that's all he does. So that's what they did. So we had the guy come, he said, and he did check out your signal for your internet. Everything is fine. He said, our work was done on our end. You gotta have, your internet, it was working. Everything was working
So
fine.
he said you have to speak to your management.
So what they did, so we
correct
speak to the management, and so we called the management again, and
Mm-hmm.
right away, in a matter of like 15 minutes, they came right back
Terri Frisone came back.
with the same guy, with the same
guy.
Okay.
Now, I have something to say here, Joe, which is important, because when she brings the other workers, the same thing.
Right, okay.
Usually, when you have a legitimate electrician or any legitimate worker, construction worker, whatever, it's common knowledge. They come in their own vehicles. You see who's coming. It'll say, White's Construction Company. They come in a company vehicle. That's not what took place here. Terri Frisone, for the second time, comes with her black SUV.
This is the first time with the intercom guy.
Yes, it was the same thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Terri Frisone came with her black SUV
Right.
with this intercom repairman. Now, what happened to his vehicle? It doesn't look professional. She's coming with him. But as the story goes on, the reason why they're coming together is because hanky-panky has to be committed, and we don't even really know who really is Terri Frisone, and we really don't know if that's the intercom person who's supposed to come, if he's even an intercom person. Now, this is what happened, because I remember this perfectly.
Right, so what they do is, they come back again
Yes.
the same day, and say, well...
Yes, and the intercom person goes to the open wire box, and he says again, wire number 1. They were Terri Frisone is trying to say it's wire number 156, and I have this all on tape recording. And I said, no, it's wire 157, like you said before. And, so then she finally says, yes, it's 157. So, the intercom person, repairman, supposedly,
For the second time, he says the
he
same
looks,
thing.
and Terri Frisone is eyeing the intercom man. When you're talking to somebody, like, they're not doing the right thing because they're both eyeing each other. Especially Terri Frisone. She's making facial gestures to him. It's like, and I'm burning up, and so is Joe.
Right.
Okay? So the intercom repair guy says to Terri Frisone, what should I do? Should I correct the wire?
Right.
So I said, of course you're going to correct the wire. I mean, I was livid.
I mean, he's the intercom guy, and he's asking her what to do.
Right, and she's like looking at him, like going like this. So I said, will you please tell him to fix the wire so we can have our internet service? So she goes, no. We're not going to do this.
Because...
we're going to do something else instead. Something like that, right?
Yeah, and I still think your internet service came here and put that wire in the wrong... I think...
Right.
It's
your internet service.
They
it has
played around
nothing
with the
to do with
wires.
us.
I said, no, my internet did not do anything
They
like
didn't even
that.
go over there.
They came in just to check to see if they get a signal. And they got a signal, everything was working fine.
Now, bear
That's
in
all they
mind,
do.
this is the same exposed box that has been exposed when Verizon came, okay, and has a padlock. Lo and behold, you left out the most important part.
Yeah.
When we came to the Verizon box, okay, the Verizon never came. Terri Frisone knocks on Mario's door in the basement to get the combination to the lock, which is so unlawful.
And she told me that Mario doesn't even have that combination.
Yeah, but she's
Verizon
knocking
gave
on
it
his
to
door.
us because for emergency.
Right. She said. So I told her, don't you know it's illegal to have
Yeah.
to have the key or the padlock to Verizon
or
combination? It's Verizon's box.
They have to open it.
You can't go there. She says, well, they told me that I can open it in case of emergencies.
Verizon has emergency 24 hours a day.
First of all,
this is what they do.
Right. First of all, she can't open it no matter what. Okay? If there's an emergency, Verizon comes right away because that's their property.
And
it's just like breaking into my computer.
Just to let you know, we verify this
with Verizon.
Verizon
Reputable Verizon representatives. Yes.
And
but everybody
few
knows that.
representatives told us absolutely nobody else can open it. We only are allowed to open it. It's our box, belongs to us.
Exactly. Okay, we have to end here because we don't want to end at the very end because again this cult plays tricks on us. So thank you so far.
Thank you so far again.
Okay.
And
we'll continue this very shortly.
Very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. Please help us.
Please help us.